shareholder, is it mostly partners that do the litigation and like are litigating in the courtroom?
So I would say not at Bassford. I would say the majority of other firms, yes. Again, because Bassford is a mid-sized firm, they expect a lot from their associates. So there's a lot more opportunity to jump in on cases as the second chair, within my second or third year of being a lawyer, which is awesome. And that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to wait 7 years and then all of a sudden be like, oh, I have to go to trial. How do I do that? And you've been an attorney for 7 years. Like, that sucks,
Yeah, I suppose most of our partners are the trial attorneys at our firm. So.
Oh, okay. So yeah, your firm only the
not
partners,
only, but they
do
mainly
the
first
majority.
chair. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And then what does shareholder mean in the realm of a law firm? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, that's a great question because I wasn't either.
Okay.
So that's an awesome question. So there's partners and shareholders. So partners just means that you've arrived, you've made it somehow, you've risen to the top of your field. Most partner tracks are 7 or 8 years at all the firms, but that's not promised to you. And yeah, it's kind of, for lack of a better metaphor, it's kind of just you eat what you kill, right?
So it's not like a tenured position?
No, not at all. No. So you are, you're trying to build your book of business and you are bringing in a percentage of those billable hours. But it just kind of gives you a little bit more weight behind your name too. People are like, oh, wow, you're a partner. And then shareholder has that, plus you own a part of the business. So you own part of the firm.
So you have to be a partner in order to be a shareholder.
Yes.
But you don't necessarily have to be you don't necessarily have to own shares to be a partner.
Yeah, that's correct. So again, my firm is kind of unique in that we only have shareholders.
No partners?
No partners.
Got
no.
it.
Well, the shareholders are the partners, kind of, right? I mean, they would be.
Yeah, they are.
They would be a partner within the
yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly what that is. So, your pay structure kind of changes. You start getting a percentage of your book of business, but you're also paying out overhead to the firm. They pay my salary, but you're also making a lot more money.
And I don't know if this is what it is at your firm, but I know specifically for if you go to the big four accounting firms, because that's where my background is.
Okay.
You have to pay to become a partner. A lot of them will have to take out a second loan because you put money into the business, and then obviously, obviously, in the long run, it's a great return because you're getting, if you're a partner at Deloitte or PwC or something, that's you get hundreds of thousands of dollars in salary, and then your bonuses can be in the millions. So
millions?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And most firms kind of tease you with they have junior partner, senior partner.
Yeah.
And again, in a lot of the big law firms, it's just not even guaranteed that you'll become partner. And I've heard a lot of stories of they'll kind of dangle that in front of you to get billable hours out of you, and then it just doesn't really happen. So Bassford is very clear about being no, if you're at this firm, you're going to be. Oops.
Oh my God!
I can't believe what?
What did you do?
Breaking stuff.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Uh-oh.
You can leave it.
Our studio is falling apart.
That's new.
What?
Yeah, just leave it for now. We'll deal with it later.
Leave that one there. My bad. Continue the story.
So partners.
Shareholders. That's it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
Did I
does.
explain
Thank
that
you.
okay?
Because there's a lot
absolutely.
of different level. We have at our firm, we have of councils and stuff like that too.
Yeah, right. What firm are you at?
So I'm at Foley in Mansfield.
Oh yeah,
in
okay.
Minneapolis.
Yep.
I guess they'd be classified as a large firm.
Yeah.
I think is it over?
If it's
100
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's a large law firm.
Yeah.
And I think what an of counsel is you just have a specific relationship with the firm, but you're not necessarily.
I think of counsel is you're off that partner track, if I remember right. You're no longer once you're of counsel, you're just continue to be at the firm as a lawyer, but you don't.
attorney.
But you don't. Yeah, as an attorney there, but you don't have like
all the benefits.
You don't have the benefits of like owning stock. In the
okay,
company.
because we just had a person who was of counsel and they just got bumped up to partner. Like,
oh really?
I'm like, interesting. So I didn't know exactly how that relationship worked out, but
Yeah, every firm's different.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
And so, Molly, you just recently passed the bar exam, correct?
Yes, thank the Lord.
first try.
No, it's actually my second try.
Really?
Yep, swing number 2. Yep.
Yeah. And so we're gonna take a short break, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that bar exam.
That sounds great.
Welcome back to Cold Call. Thanks again, Molly, for being here. And so we wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the bar exam because when did you just took that just a short time ago, right?
Yeah, so I took the February bar exam.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
like really recently.
Yep. Yeah, I
Oh.
just found out I passed, so.
Congrats.
Excellent.
Thank
Congratulations.
you so much. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it feels good to be an actual attorney now. Yeah.
It's all worth it.
Yeah.
And your firm hired you before you took the bar.
Yes. So I, like I said earlier, I came to this firm through the OCI process. And so I summered there, and at the end of my summer, they offered me the job. I worked through my entire third year because I'm sure as Colleen knows, and you as well, you just are checked out your third year. And for me at that point, it was like my job and my reputation at the firm is what I need to pay attention to rather than like getting the best grade in the class because that didn't matter anymore because I had a job.
Is that what it is for you as well, Colleen?
Seeing as I don't have a job and I'm
She will.
also not focused on getting the best grades in school, I would say definitively no, that's not what it's like.
And so, what was your process for studying for the bar exam? And I know you had just said that you had taken it twice. Did you
Yep.
approach it differently from the first time to the second time?
I absolutely did. So the first time, so I took it in July, and yeah, I did Barbary, and they're all the same, really. What are the other two called?
Cap?
Themis and Kaplan. Thank you, Colleen. So I took Barbary, and did 8 hours every day for 2 months.
For your first time?
Yep.
Oh.
And it sucked, and it was really hard, and it was so much information that it just, once you get into it, it becomes really overwhelming very quickly because you're like, this is just not possible to learn all of this and not to learn it because it's very simple, like surface level stuff. It's the memorization part and the detailed part of it, right? That just becomes overwhelming. So I think I got so caught up in trying to complete everything that Barbary was telling me to complete every day, which most of the time is like mind-numbing stuff that you're doing, like because you're just trying to like keep up with this thing that Barbary is telling you to do, and that was not helpful to me at all. Like I wasn't. And they're like, just trust the process. It's long-term memory. Trust the process. It'll, just trust it.
So you're just going through the motions versus like actually soaking it in, or?
Well, and I was trying to soak it in, but yeah, you're, and you see your little progress bar every day, and when you fall behind, you're like, oh my god, everyone else is ahead of me, and it's that classic law school mentality. Yeah, and and then. I would also say I have a really big beef with Barbary's multiple choice. I think Barbary's essays are awesome. And the way that they do that, I think their multiple choice questions are horrible and should not be used. I think you should, well, then I'll compare it. So second time, also I missed the bar by 2 points the first time. So that was a kick in the pants.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awful.
So it was like, you're telling me the difference between that person and me is that they got another multiple choice question right and they're a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, so the second time around, I kind of threw Barbary out the window, and I actually got these thing called lean sheets, Lean, and I actually just gave them to Colleen, and they were a godsend. I mean, they were the best thing ever. It literally is just 2 pages of each subject, and it's like, here's what you need to know.
Wow.
And it was
That
like,
sounds amazing.
what? Like, why didn't nobody explain this to me the first time?
So do you just have to buy those online, or are they just there?
Yes, it's $75
Oh.
versus the $3,000 or whatever that Barbary wants you to cough up.
So I'm not saying that this is for everyone, but are you saying that we can get away with not taking a Barbary course at the end of the...
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
wondering.
tough. I think
Do you know anyone that got away with not using one of those courses? Because it seems like
no.
So working
So
in
much
tandem.
money.
So like, if you had both of those tools at your disposal,
Yes.
I think that's
Yes.
what made it work.
Yes. I think because I am someone also who I need to see, I need the outline, right? Like I need that 2-page outline, and then I can go into detail on the little things, right, to kind of figure that out. But I just needed, because again, Barbary's going to hand you these like 30, 40, 50-page outlines, and it's like,
That's not an outline.
this just isn't helpful. It's too much. So the lean sheets were super helpful. And then instead of doing Barbary multiple choice, I bought old tests online. So they sell them. It's like strategic MBE something. And it's just these big books of old tests. And it's those multiple choice questions. And so I grilled those over and over again. And that was so much more helpful because it was like, this is actually what I'm going to be encountering on the exam. I know a lot of my classmates, when we got to the exam, we felt really frustrated because we just felt like we had spent 2 months learning how to like run for a marathon, and I spent 2 8-hour days strength training and lifting weights. Is the best way I can explain how that multiple choice felt on the exam. So yeah, that would be my suggestion: is throw out Barbary's multiple choice, which is going to feel really hard because everyone's going to be doing it. Get the old tests online, take the old tests, and then buy these lean sheets and
LEAN sheets
LEAN sheets, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
LEI?
I'm telling you, they were so helpful. And it comes with flashcards. So that was the other thing. So it's like it has like these 2-page outlines, and then it already has flashcards made for you. And that was awesome for memorization for me, rather
Cool.
than like trying to like write your own, which also just takes forever. Anyways, that was my study bar experience. Second time around was much easier, and we knocked it out of the park.
I want to get a little closer to the
Oh, sorry.
microphone.
It's okay.
Awesome. And so, oh no, I lost my spot. And so, what did anything happen like with employment or anything when you didn't pass the first time, or
Yeah.
were they, or was it, or is it fairly common and they know that the next time you'll pass it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So again, I was very lucky to be at a firm that supported me through and through. So I found out that I didn't pass. Of course, I had like a total meltdown because your like whole life had been leading up to that, right? And yeah, and then I went into work the next day, which was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do because you're embarrassed and you feel ashamed, and especially for like high functioning people like us who have always done really well at everything, right? It was tough. And I had person after person after person come into my office and was like, this doesn't matter. Like, you're fine. Like it just doesn't matter. Like, I know it feels like the end of the world to you right now. But they were like, we know your work ethic. We know you're going to be a great attorney here. So this is just a few months difference between you and everyone else, and we support you.
So what does it mean if you don't have that? if you haven't passed that bar exam when you're at a law firm? Is there certain things you can or cannot do?
I just kept doing clerk